Is diabetes ever a joke? Well, that has been the topic of conversation recently, especially on Type 1 Diabetes Twitter, or should we be calling it X by now? Anyway, our good friends at JDRF kicked it all off with an open letter to the producers of the BBC comedy panel show programme, Would I Lie to You? The letter specifically calls out a joke that was made in the first 5 minutes of the second episode of the most recent, the 17th series of the programme. Now, because I am a totally law-abiding journalist, I have recorded it for posterity, but it is still up on the BBC iPlayer currently. So let's take a look, shall we? So I'm going to get it ready over here. So if you are dropping in, do let me know. I'm not recording this on my OBS, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to make do whatever comes out of the live stream. If you are here, do say hey. It'd be really nice to make some friends on YouTube Live. I currently have 1 viewer. Is that me on my own phone? I think that's probably me on my own phone that's watching myself. Nevertheless, I'm live. I'm going to be recording all my videos like this now. Hopefully, get me back into the YouTube mood. Anyway, let's see this joke which caused such a stir on Would I Lie to You? So, Frankie Boyle is a bit of a controversial comedian, but he isn't to blame. He didn't cause a stink with JDRF. It happened to be a lovely little lady called Lucy.
And Lucy is first.
Here we go. This is the joke which started it all off.
I once had to urgently edit my Wikipedia page to back up a lie I'd just told. You want to know what the lie was, don't you?
Yeah, we want to know what the lie is, yeah.
That I'm diabetic.
She's lied about being diabetic because she's hungry on a flight. Because she wants a snack box.
And then I think the cabin crew were Googling me.
So she thinks she's famous enough, firstly, that the cabin crew are going to be Googling her to check out that she's not lying. So, to cut a long story short, she got her friend to change her Wikipedia page to say that, yes, Lucy is diabetic. Notice she doesn't say what sort of diabetic she is.
Because you've said I'm diabetic. Have they given you food as a result of that?
So they have now given me a snack box, and everyone near me has given me like sweets and.
Now, so far, I don't think it's that bad, is it? It's just it's a harm. You know, she got some free food. It's pretty harmless. I think the issue really starts to become apparent when we get to the discussion. So I think
the original snack box that you
here it is. So it's a comment from Lee Mack, I think, that really is that his name, Lee Mack?
Yes.
It contained breadsticks.
Yes.
And an insulin injection.
There we go. So that then becomes the issue. So let's, I guess, take a look at what really was the offence that was created, because I don't know about you, but I'm sort of in two minds about all of this. I don't make this full screen. I'm in two minds about whether I'm actually offended, but I think the point that JDRF are trying to make is that that there are wider implications of the potential for what's going on here. So here's what JDRF said. To the producers of Would I Lie to You, I'm writing to you as Director of Policy and Communications of JDRF, the Type 1 Diabetes charity, to request a conversation with you about the recent portrayal of Type 1 diabetes. We and many people living with Type 1 diabetes feel the producers of Episode 2, Series 17, exercise poor editorial judgment. Now, the BBC has editorial guidelines which I have in a book. I think where's my book of editorial guidelines? I've got it somewhere. I have the handbook, BBC editorial guidelines. I'm not going to bore you with going through and picking up. You know, it's a bit like a book of law, really. And I'm not going to go through which of the potential breaches there actually were. But I would say that this would sort of maybe potentially be a breach of some of the guidelines. Anyway, contributing to the harmful myths around type 1 diabetes and playing the condition for laughs. In the episode, one of the contestants told a story where she had lied about having type 1 on a plane. She never said that she lied about having type 1, so it's important to say that. She never really did say what sort of diabetes that she had. And, you know, if you're not type 1 diabetic or indeed diabetic, there are more than just two types. Blah, blah, blah about having snacks and falsely updating her Wikipedia entry. Now, the follow-up segment, so the response to Lucy's lie, this is where they had, which is where I could probably see the only sort of problem, was that the follow-up segment in the same episode also had the same contestant playing the injecting of insulin in someone living with type 1 diabetes for laughs. Now, this is the misinformation, isn't it? Because if she genuinely needed food and she was living with some form of diabetes, she definitely wouldn't need an insulin injection. That's the wrong sort of treatment for that sort of thing. But, you know, that letter, if you want to see it, it's on JDRF's website. So it'll be in their news section, JDRF's news section, if you want to check it out yourself. But they sort of wrap it up by saying, making jokes about type 1, especially jokes that involve falsely claiming to have type 1 diabetes to obtain free food, can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and contribute to the stigma surrounding this health condition. We recognise that Would I Lie to You is a comedy panel show known for its humour and wit. However, I urge you to consider the potential impact of jokes about serious medical conditions such as type 1 diabetes on your audience. It is crucial to strike a balance between humour and sensitivity, ensuring that comedy does not come at the expense of people perpetuating harmful stereotypes or trivialising important health issues. We welcome a conversation. Now, as far as I'm aware, I don't think anyone actually responded. But here's the tweet that they put out. I think we're still on that screen, aren't we? Yeah, so you'll be able to see the tweet. We're disappointed to see the jokes about type 1 diabetes on BBC's Would I Lie to You. This is from the start of last month, so I'm a bit late in getting up to this, but I'm also a bit late with just getting my act together in content generally. But we're cooking on gas at the minute. This guy, Oliver Roby, pointed out to say, it's all right, guys. I was the man on the show. He wasn't. I gave him a free pass. He didn't. Being a wet wipe, stop being a wet wipes and see the lighter side. Also, as a type 1 diabetic on the show, he's not. I request that you revoke your letter and actually do something useful. I think he was just sort of poking the bear on this one. So lots of people are really on JDRF's side. I think even Diabetes UK got involved somewhere, if we can find that. As a type 1 diabetic, I wasn't offended at all. This is an overreaction. So yeah, you know, it's difficult, really. I think it's even more sort of difficult that sadly nobody responded or has responded yet from Would I Lie to You, the producers of the programme. I don't know who makes it, or the BBC. But I mean, what do you think? What do you think about this? Is it that offensive? But like I was saying, that guy, Oliver Roby, he tweeted that. You know, it led me to question myself. Was I really offended about the joke about diabetes? And it's not like we've seen diabetes become the butt of a joke for the very first time. I don't know. You might be able to think of some examples better than me. But, you know, just off the top of my head, there was Family Guy, Diabito. There we go. Do you remember Family Guy, Diabito? There was that guy. This kid here.
For her prematurely overweight son, Diabito.
Mama, may I have cookie?
No, Diabito. Roll back to kitchen.
Oh.
There we go. There's Diabito, and then I think I remember Paul Blart, Mall Cop, diabetes. There was definitely a scene. There we go. Low sugar levels in Paul Blart.
Do you have a clue to who you're messing with? Actually, I don't need a clue. You just told me. And if you decide to go to the real cops, attempt to track the cell phone or make any attempt to come after me, oh boy, I am so crazy. I'll put you and your daughter in a world of pain. Yeah. Well, here's a few things you don't know about me. First off, Payne is my co-pilot, so no problem then. And second off,
I think I watched this in the cinema when I was like a child. I wasn't diabetic then. What is that?
Hello?
Surely that's narcolepsy.
Strange. Okay.
Not.
Talking to right over there. Dude, he's...
What? Okay, so apparently, allegedly, Paul Blart has fallen asleep because he's obviously type 2 diabetic, I'm assuming. I guess that's what they're insinuating because he's a larger chap.
Look at the beautiful flowers. Can I draw on them?
Not now, honey. Daddy's on the phone. Go with Mom. Must get sugar.
I don't know, that's sort of kind of real, actually. I think I definitely... So my sugar drawer is just behind me, just under my Alexa device there. And I definitely crawled from my bed room, which is just down the hallway that way, to my sugar drawer. Maybe not so dramatically, but still a little bit like Paul Blart is here. Okay, I think we get the idea. Paul Blart's trying to consume some ice cream. Not a bad hypo treatment, actually, because of how sort of processed that it... I mean, you know when I'm saying processed, that it's like sugar water, essentially, when it melts in your stomach. So, yeah, not a bad way to treat a hypo. I'm not trying to be a wet lettuce because, I don't know, of course, I've heard jokes about type 1 diabetes. Most of them I've made myself about living with type 1 diabetes. Most of the time they're funny, especially when I make them. But that is how a lot of us deal with difficult topics, isn't it? Comedy. But I'm not sure this joke in particular lands at all, at all. It's just a comedian admitting to the fact that they came up with, what is essentially a lie. She doesn't even say what type of diabetes she claimed to have, and she doesn't even care to give enough context. If she said she was having low blood sugar, even that would have been a bit of a better addition, wouldn't it? To have at least explained a little bit. And then maybe that would have made Lee Mack's joke about the insulin injection being a part of the snack box. Maybe that would have made it a little bit better. And she didn't even get that much of a laugh. But going back to the JDRF letter, imagine if this was, say, a joke about someone living with the big C. I know there's, an influencer from Liverpool who just sadly lost her battle yesterday. And I'm just thinking that if anyone was going to make, if anyone anywhere made a joke about, that, then there would be immediate repercussions, wouldn't there? But one of the things that really, really pissed me off just completely was Lee Mack's joke about the snack box containing an insulin injection. That is something that really, really grinds my gears. I remember when I was first diagnosed, and I was telling people that I I had type 1 diabetes, they would often make a joke and be like, oh, does that mean I can give you an injection then if you have a funny turn? I mean, and if I was having a funny turn, an injection then would completely like worsen the situation and unalive me. So definitely that really, really grinds my gears. But you know, what do you think? Is it something that is annoying to you when people make jokes about you living with type 1 diabetes, or jokes about the condition itself? Does it perpetuate misinformation, or does it? Or should we all just grow a backbone and stop being so sensitive? So there we go. The question is over to you guys now. Please let me know in the comments section below. Is it ever okay for diabetes to be a joke? Is it ever okay for comedians that aren't diabetic to make jokes like that, claiming to be diabetic? And is it ever okay to lie about having diabetes to get your hands on some free food? Let me know in the comments section below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.